Now, the eagle-eyed among you, Kieran used my catchphrase tonight, will notice that he's departed from the seat and we've been joined by Oxford United Women's Ellie Noble. Welcome, Ellie. Thanks for joining us. We've interviewed you a few times on radio, back during COVID and one or two times since, but we never really asked you about your footballing journey, where it started, where you got the inspiration from, where did you train, that sort of thing. So can you just give us a little bit of a potted history, if you like, of Ellie Noble?
Yeah, I can. For me, well, I have an older brother, my brother Ali. Growing up, I always just copied him, so we just kicked the ball about together. And I was kind of lucky, there was a sports club happening in my village, and it was run by a guy called Jason Carden. My dad helped get involved and volunteered there, and that was a place where I'm one of four, so he kind of just pushed us all there on a Saturday afternoon. And so I loved playing sports there, obviously played a lot of football, and then as time went on, this guy Jason was also a coach at Oxford United, and he got me a trial at Oxford United, and that was probably at under-10s, and then from there onwards I just played at Oxford, went through the age groups, had a variety of different coaches, made my debut at 16, and then kind of left Oxford, went to uni at 19, and then here I am.
There you go. Nice little potted history there. I think that was good. That was well rounded up as well, I have to say. Really interesting there, because it's great when you got siblings and you're playing together and having that experience. I think it's wonderful. So, did you play any boys' football at the time, or was it just purely girls' football at the time?
I didn't play any boys' football. I didn't play for any grassroots club before Oxford, so I wasn't really aware if it was boys or girls. Sort of in the playground, it was always against the boys, and I was very much a tomboy when I was younger in primary school, so I always played football with the boys. That probably helped me, kind of left me in good stead going into the girls' sides, but no, I never did. I know my brother played for Charlgrove, so I saw kind of boys football growing up, but yeah, I never played for any boys or girls club before Oxford.
It was quite exclusive in that respect. Yeah, no, absolutely. We're struggling with mics apparently. Let's just check. Should we have a mic test?
Hello.
Is that good? Oh, hang on. Let's go that way then. I thought that way. Let's try that. Is that good? We apologise for that. I hope that didn't spoil too much. Because Ellie did give us some good feedback there. So we'll carry on.
Okay, thank you.
That always happens. This is live. That shows we're definitely live. So it's all good. We'll go on our blooper reel. You know.
Okay.
So no worries. More of a serious note. When you got to Oxford United, that transition through and playing at that level, what was that like, and what was it like getting your debut?
It was amazing, to be honest. It was quite special because a lot of the coaches there had known me since I was about 8. I do remember my debut as Yeovil away on a weekday evening, so it wasn't at home or anything, but it was very special. I think when it's a club that you've grown up at and everybody knows you and things like that, it does make it really, really special. And I think it was always something that I kind of aimed for, working my way up through the age groups. I think that's where my dad had a really big influence, because he'd always take me to the women's games. We'd go and watch them play at Abingdon. So I always had that to look forward to, and there were players who I saw in the first team growing up, and I wanted to play alongside them. So it was quite nice that I had the opportunity to do that. And obviously, when it's your home club and things like that, it obviously means a lot more.
Who were your favourite players growing up?
For me, at Oxford United, it was Kaylee Hines. I think she actually moved on from Oxford and went into the WSL with Reading when they got promoted, and Reading had to pay a fee for her, and at that kind of time that was quite a big thing for a club like Oxford, and so I always looked up to her. She played in midfield as well, and she kind of got stuck in and things like that and scored a lot of long range goals, so that was something that I wanted to be like, but yeah, Kaylee Hines was always someone I looked up to.
That's interesting. Just coming on to a more serious note for a moment, you had quite severe concussion, and it's still having a little bit of an impact on your game at the moment, isn't it? Can you just give us an insight of how it happened, what the process was, and some of the protocols you went through after that, and some of the things that have happened since?
Yeah, it's kind of it's an interesting one, really. I've never seen concussions in women's football, and mine, I had a concussion just before Christmas. I think it was maybe 2019, 2020. Went through the protocol. That was very clear, black and white one. Came back from that within a few weeks. It was very innocuous. And then we had another one after Christmas where I had a couple of knocks in a game. It was actually one just from a football. It was these old mitre balls that was sort of filled with water, and it was from a drop kick, and I've gone to head it to flick it on in the middle, and I remember it really hurting at the time, but not thinking too much of it. And then from then onwards, kind of complaining of neck pain, and they thought, oh, well, you've probably got a bit of whiplash. And I think the reality was that it was more serious than that. From then onwards, for about a month, I was experiencing kind of extreme fatigue, kind of haziness. I was studying at the time at uni, and I found that really hard. And I kind of went to the club and said, I don't feel well, and they said to go down the GP route and to kind of see if I had any issues there. I think fatigue was the biggest one, but the reality was, unfortunately, it was a concussion, and kind of that gap of not being removed from all sport and things like that wasn't ideal, and kind of that meant that concussion lasted for about 3 months. After that 3 months, we were kind of doing return to play, and kind of in a really stressful period of my life. It was towards the end of the season where contracts were coming up and uni deadlines were there, and I was catching up on the work I'd missed a few months previously, and that period of stress brought on vestibular migraines, and these were kind of a side effect of the concussion, and it not really being dealt with, and it took quite a long time for that to be diagnosed. I was suffering with them for about 5 months, and it was kind of the same symptoms as a concussion, really, and that was really hard. So I was kind of out from January to September with concussion or a concussion-related injury, and I take medication for that now as if it were kind of regular migraines, and it's something that now, like, I'm completely at peace with. It's been a journey to get to that point. I think sort of emotionally and kind of mentally, it's been quite something to take on. I think, if you come back from a knee injury and your knee's a bit sore, people don't really ask any questions, but with a concussion and kind of suffering weird things that it's quite hard to talk about or to explain, was difficult. But actually, luckily for me, I feel completely at ease with that now, and it was a hard time, but yeah, I'm out the other side, so yeah, all good now.
Oh, that's really pleasing to hear. I mean, that's quite a harrowing thing to hear anybody say, but so thanks for being so honest and open with us there, Ellie. That was absolutely brilliant. So your journey now back to the O-Shire, as I like to call it, back playing for Oxfordshire United Women. So you're looking forward to that start of the next journey for you?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was kind of, everything sort of happened last minute. I was at Crystal Palace. I'd come back from an ACL injury, looking for game time. We had a loan agreement on the table at a different club that fell through last minute. We had about, I think, 3 days left till the transfer deadline, and we just needed to find somewhere, and luckily Oxford came in and saved the day for me. I think it's just luck now that it happened to be, my hometown club, and it's back home for me, and it's familiar, and I know people, and I count myself lucky to find myself in this position.
Yeah, no, that's good to hear as well. We wish you the very best of luck for that on that next journey. Just a couple of lighter notes to finish, Ellie, because I've known you for quite some time. Noblet, as I call her, really. I don't even know why. But we'll move swiftly on. Gooners together. Arsenal doing quite well, aren't they?
Yeah. Big fan.
Yeah. There's a certain producer behind the screen who's a Tottenham supporter. We won't hold that against him. Sorry, Patrick.
No comment.
But yeah, absolutely. Last night not so good, but in the league, doing okay.
Smashing it.
And obviously, I I sort of got to know you through cricket more than football. You played at a reasonable high standard. You played for Oxfordshire women's team there. Looking to get back into cricket, are you?
Well, you never really leave it, do you? It's just been, yeah. Yeah, it's something that I've always loved doing, and obviously it's in the off season with football, so you keep fit and things like that. And my home club is Tiddington, and that's the local for me, and I've always loved playing there. I've loved playing men's cricket, so they've always welcomed me and pushed me and things like that. So yeah, maybe a few games for them this summer.
It's quite interesting. I've never disclosed this to anybody, but I did play cricket against Ellie a few years ago, and she did bowl at me, and I was absolutely not getting out to Ellie Noble.
I gathered that, yeah. I knew it when we were playing, but I really wanted to get you out as well.
There was great competitive edge on both of it, so it was absolutely superb.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, it was a bit of a stodgy wicket. You bowled really well at me, actually. And
you got 50 in that match as well, I remember.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean that.
Spring up old wounds, it's fine.
It probably was off about 5,000 balls,
Yeah.
I think, if I remember rightly. So it wasn't pretty to watch, that's for sure. But yeah, we had a good time on that. So there you go. I disclosed that live on air for you. Ellie, look, thanks for coming in. Thanks for being so open and honest with us again. And it's always a joy to have you here with us. But we wish you the very best of luck in your next journey. I hope it goes really well.